In this session, I'm going to take you through the pop-up report. So you've set up your pop-up has delivered to your audience, and now you want to pull a report on that pop-up. You do this by clicking on Reports, Pop-up Report. Your pop-up reporting screen is going to open. When it opens, you need to define the time range that your pop-up ran within. It doesn't have to be your start date and your end date, basically just a time range that it was active. So I'm going to go back a month. I know it ran sometime in the last month, and by selecting the drop down, you will be given a list of pop-ups that ran in that time frame. Let's say it's become a volunteer that I want to report on, and I click on Generate Report. This is the first option for generating a report, and basically what it does is it will summarize your report details graphically into a pie chart for you. It gives you the title, it gives you the dates that it ran, and a basic overview or summary of the results. It will tell you at the bottom how many people in total you had targeted. So we targeted 1,405. It was not delivered to 159 of those users. It was delivered to 1,246 of those users. If you're wanting to drill further into the detail of the report, you can click onto the relevant slice. So if I want to see of those 1,405 users, which people did not receive it, I click onto the red slice of the report. It will give me a list of people that did not receive this pop-up. You are able to export this list to Excel by clicking on Export. You are also able to navigate back to your main pie chart by clicking on the Back to Parent Report button. If you then want to see who it did deliver to, you can click onto the green slice. And this is going to open a further sub-report which would break it down into how the person responded. So did they click the pop-up? Did they dismiss the pop-up? Did the pop-up auto-hide? Did they snooze the pop-up? Or did the pop-up show, which means it arrived on their screen but they ignored it and did nothing with it? So if you want to see of these users who dismissed the pop-up, you're able to click onto the Dismiss slice, and it will give you a list of people that dismissed the pop-up with their username, their machine names, the date that it arrived, and then the date and time that they dismissed that pop-up. So for instance, this user received it on the 8th of December at 8:07. It sat on their screen for a while, and they dismissed it the same day at 12:32. You're able to export this to Excel in the same way. However, if you're wanting to export your pop-up details into Excel, it is better to rather click on the Generate for Export button. A very similar looking report is going to open, but when you export this one to Excel, it is going to put all the relevant details into the same Excel document so that you don't have to export each slice separately. So if I click on Export, Excel, it's going to open up a screen and ask you to choose the location that you want to save this report to. So I'm going to save it into my pop-up reports folder. Give it the name that you want it to have and click on Save. If I then open it from the location where I saved it, it opens that report up in Excel. The first screen would be your summary, so it will give you the breakdown overall on the pie chart, but then it does also on each tab at the bottom of the report give you the response summary of the actioned responses, as well as all the clicks, all the dismisses, the auto hides, the snoozes, the shows, and then also all of the people that were outstanding. The other way to run this pop-up report is to click on Show Raw Data Only, generate the report that way, and basically what this gives you is a very raw extract of the data with each user their corresponding action. So here in this column here, for instance, you can see the click date, the dismiss date. So if this user clicked on it, they'd have a click date. This user here dismissed this pop-up, so they have a dismiss date. And this you can also export to Excel. Select your location, give it a name, and if I open that report from the location that I saved it in, it also opens it up in Excel, but it gives you a very raw extract. What I could then do is I could add filters to this report. If I want to see everybody that clicked this pop-up, I would be able to select all except the blanks, because if they don't have a click date, they did not click it. And that would be my list of clicks on this pop-up. Data analysts, people that put in their own pivot tables and that type of thing, prefer the data in this format. So very quickly in summary, to pull a pop-up report, you click on Reports in CLA, Pop-up Report, you define the date range that your pop-up ran within. From the drop-down, you select the pop-up that you're wanting to report on, and you either generate for export, generate your standard report to navigate within CLA, or select your Show Raw Data Only. This one you can see was only targeted to one user, and it was delivered to that user. And if you click onto that slice, this user clicked it. And if you click onto that slice, you can see that it was myself that received this pop-up.